All right, you guys, salute everybody. Y'all already know what it is. Ticket TV live streams, man. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Salute to A Weapons. He rapping the life music. And y'all already know what's up, so I don't really have to go through the intro. All the links will be in the description box below this video if you guys want to support our networks and things like that. But let's get into this. I'm going to talk about James Harden being one of the most overrated, having one of the most overrated careers in NBA history. Now, Harden, who is a scoring machine, etched his name in the NBA lore with gaudy regular season stats and individual accolades that would make most players envious. Now, he's a former MVP, three-time scoring champ, and a perennial all-star who, right, revolutionized isolation offense. Yet, beneath the surface of, his highlight reel step backs and triple-double lies a career of riddled with playoff disappointments, questionable playing styles, and a glaring absence of a championship on his resume. Now, in an era where rings define legacies, James Harden's resume feels inflated, propped up by personal achievements that haven't translated to team success. Now, we're going to talk about why James Harden's career is one of the most overrated in NBA history, backed, by performance data, expert analysis, and widespread criticisms. Now, James Harden's regular season dominance is undeniable. Over his career, he's averaged 24.1 points, 7.2 assists, 5.6 rebounds per game, with peaks like in his 2018-19 season where he dropped a staggering 36.1 points per game per contest, the highest scoring average since Michael Jordan's 37.1 points per game in 86-87 season. Now, he won the 2018 MVP award after leading the league in scoring with 30.4 points per game and averaging 8.8 assists per game, and he's been named to the NBA All-First Team 6 times. These feats have cemented him on the NBA's top 75 anniversary team and positioned him as one of the league's all-time great offensive players. However, the playoffs told a different story about James Harden so far in his career. Harden's postseason record stands at 90-83, a middling 52% winning percentage that pales in comparison to true legends like Kobe, who's right at 60%, or LeBron, who's at 62.1%. His scoring dips noticeably in the playoffs. Career playoff averages sit at around 23 points per game on low efficiency, with recent outings like in the 2025 playoffs seeing a mustard of a performance in 18.7 points per game on 41% shooting. Now, analysts have dubbed him the greatest playoff shrinker for his tendency to underperform in elimination games, particularly Game 7s, where his game score, a metric combining points, rebounds, and assists, averages a dismal 12.3, far below his playoff norm of 17.6, you guys. So specific meltdowns abound. The 2017 Western Conference semifinals against the Spurs, James Harden scored just 10 points on 2 of 11 shooting in Game 6. That was a loss. Fast forward into the 2023 season with the 76ers, where he vanished in Game 7 against the Celtics, going 3 of 11 for 9 points. And in 2025 playoffs with the LA Clippers, where he averaged under 20 points per game in a first-round exit, prompting widespread calls of him being a choker. So as we get into the specifics, of his meltdowns, in 2017 Western Conference semifinals against the Spurs, he had 10 points on 2 of 11 shooting in a Game 6 loss, as we said just a minute ago. Also, going to the 2023 76ers, he disappeared in Game 7 against the Celtics, 3 of 11 for 9 points. And 2025 playoff with the Clippers, he averaged under 20 points per game in a first-round exit, prompting widespread calls of a choker. As one analysis put it, Harden's playoff history is a mystery of talent not showing up when it matters most. Now, these failures inflate his overrated status. Fans and media hype his regular season heroics, but he constantly shrinks under the pressure, leaving teams high and dry. Now, his offensive wizardry, I should say, is often praised, but critics argue, I should say, is built on, his exploitative tactics rather than pure skill. His scoring relies heavily on drawn fouls, leading the league in free throw attempts 9 times, including a peak 11.8 per game in the 1920 season. Techniques like pump faking into defenders, hooking arms have earned the nickname the foul merchant, with many viewing it as rule-bending rather than basketball artistry. As one outlet noted, the main reason I consider Harden overrated is the way he gets a lot of his points. Harden has garnered a reputation for exploiting the NBA's rules. Now, the NBA even adjusted rules in 2021 to curb unnatural foul drawing motions, after which Harden scoring plummeted from 34 points per game to under 25. This drop off suggests his stats were artificially boosted, not substantially elite production. Defensively, he's been a liability for years, often criticized for lackadaisical effort and poor positioning. In CBS Sports words, Harden exists in a nexus of offensive brilliance and defensive garbage. Peers and fans alike have echoed this, with social media posts labeling him as having no heart, plays with no passion, never hustles. Comparisons to contemporaries highlight the issue, while players like Steph Curry and KD elevate teams with efficient team-oriented play. James Harden's ISO-heavy style often stagnates offenses in crunch time. Statistical models from Northwestern Sports Analytics even found evidence that James Harden is overrated when, juxtaposed with other elite players, factoring in defense and efficiency. Now, in a league where championships are the ultimate measure, James Harden's 0 rings stand out like a sore thumb. Despite playing with superstars like KD, Russ, Chris Paul, Kyrie, Joel Embiid, Kawhi, Paul George, across 5 teams: the Thunder, Rockets, Nets, 76ers, and the LA Strippers. He has never advanced past the conference finals as a lead guy. His lone finals appearance was a 6-man role in 2012, where he underperformed 12.4 points per game on 37.5% shooting in that series. And his team hopping, often via trade demands, I should say, fuels the narrative of him quitting on teams when the going gets tough, forcing his way out of Houston in 2021 to Brooklyn in 2022 and Philly in 2023. His career trajectory seems, unfulfilled potential. It screams that. One user has equipped him online. He hasn't accomplished anything in the postseason to be mentioned in the same breath, as the greats. Now, his advocates admit that lack of hardware diminishes his legacy, with posts online calling him the most overrated player of all time for failing to win despite stacked rosters, right? And so, Harden's boosters sometimes rank him above icons like Kobe and Dwayne Wade, citing scoring streaks or assists. But these comparisons crumble under the scrutiny. Kobe won 5 rings with elite defense, Wade 3 with clutch playoff heroics, Harden 0 rings, defensive lapses, and no playoff, major overcomes ever. I mean, just a bunch of no-shows. Online forums, and, they frequently vote him as the most overrated guard, with polls showing 42% labeling him overrated among peers like DeMar DeRozan. Even contemporaries like T-Mac, another ringless scorer, are cited in the most overrated list alongside Harden, but T-Mac's career was injury-short, not choice-driven. Harden's placement in all-time rankings, often top 30 through 40, feels generous given his flaws, as users online argues he's barely a top 10 point guard all time and the most overrated player currently. Now, again, as y'all see this is James Harden exposed to the world. Let me know what y'all think. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.